Optimus by Afrinvest. We are launching on Tuesday, though we are for some investors are already trading that has been enabled. But you need to be able to set up your account. Once you have your account, then you can think of how do you want to select the stock. We'll discuss more extensively on that. And you don't just invest and forget it there. You need to review your portfolio. You need to, what we call, manage your portfolio. So some of this, briefly looking at some of the investing strategies that you may want to adopt. The first one is buy and hold investing strategy, which is for long-term investors. Means if you are going into this type of stock, these are you buy stocks that are proven to be very defensive and have given significant upside in, let's say, in even about 5 to 10 years when you check their records. And you also understand the business that they do, because you are buying to hold. You are just buying to expect dividend. So if we look at some of the top stocks, likes of Apple, you look at Microsoft, for instance, look at what they do, and people pay subscription every year for Microsoft Office, and they make a lot of money. People use Teams. You understand what you have an idea of what they do. So you buy because you have an understanding of the business and you expect that they will remain profitable as long as they don't change their business model. Secondly, you feel you don't want to get into understanding which one is Apple shares, which one is Tesla shares. You don't have the time. Then you do index investing, which is investing in exchange-traded funds, investing in mutual funds that covers an index. We'll discuss extensively on ETF as we progress. Then dollar cost averaging, as it has always been said, it's not always easy to gauge the market. No one can exactly say this is exactly what will happen. This is when markets will move, or this is when you can have a projection, you can have an idea on a probabilistic basis, but looking at when exactly do you want to buy at the best price. It's like when you look at the Nigerian market, everybody's looking, when will it turn? Nobody can say exactly the minute, the day that things will exactly turn. So, but when you do dollar cost averaging, which means that you are buying in tranches. And the interesting thing that we're also going to introduce on Optimus by Afrinvest platform is that you'll be able to set a threshold. If you want to be buying $100 of Apple shares every month, you'll be able to set that and the system will be helping you to purchase that. It means if you don't have time, the system just does the work for you and you continue to accumulate shares. You want to buy Tesla shares, you set the limit. $5 every day, $5 every month, you'll be able to set that limit. Then number 4, which is for active traders and those that understands the market. Trading. If you don't understand the market, you can lose your shares. You feel you want to come in 2 days or in 1 month or in 2 months. If you don't understand the market, you don't understand the business that they do. Remember, in the US market, you have over 8,000 listed securities, compared to Nigeria that is about 220 listed securities. So it's easier for researchers to narrow down into the number of stocks. They can pick maybe top 20 stocks account for 80% of the total activities. It's easier for researchers there. But when you look at the US market, you have over 20 sectors. You have a lot of complex instruments there. So you leave trading. We will not recommend active trading for those that don't understand the market. Then growth and value stocks. Growth stocks, these are stocks that you see that have potential. Currently, they may be trading at significant discount, but based on the sector that they are, based on the concept of the company, you believe that in the next 5-6 years, this company will make money. So you are buying them at a cheap price now, at cheap valuation now. So there are some investors try to identify growth stocks. That is what they do. And if you cannot even identify growth stocks, there are ETFs. There are indices that captures growth stocks. They know growth stocks and they buy growth stocks. We'll look at some of them. And when you want to look at value investing, that is stocks that are proving themselves over the years. You want to invest in them. Likes of Microsoft, Apple, Tesla. Over the years, they are proving themselves. Nvidia, you've seen that they've continued to appreciate significantly. Amazon, for instance. So you want to just buy those stocks that you already know. Some can even say I target maybe top 10, top 5 stocks in the US. These are value investing. They may not grow significantly, but they are also, we call them defensive stocks because they also don't depreciate significantly. If there's no major impact in terms of economic impact on their business. And lastly, income investing. You want to be getting dividends. We'll look at some of the stocks that even in the US, while it's very interesting, is an interesting market, there are stocks that pay dividend monthly. There are stocks that pay dividend quarterly. There are stocks that pay biannually and pay annually. So there is varieties of opportunities that you'll be able to enjoy there. And don't forget, this income is coming in dollars. I just put this quote there by Warren Buffett. That's his own strategy. He's more of a long-term investor. And these are for those that don't understand, that are new to this market. It's also good that you note this, that if you aren't thinking about owning a stock for 10 years, don't even think of owning it for 10 minutes. It's those that are traders that can do 10 minutes in this market. I've gained 100% pre-market open in this market, and I've also lost in this market. It is your understanding of the market. There's a lot of opportunities. It's good to note, if you are used to the Nigerian market, you know that markets cannot go up beyond 10% and go down beyond 10%, except if there's like a capital restructuring or corporate action. But in the US market, the stock can go up by 1,000%. I've seen it before. I trade this market actively. But it can also go the other way around by that 1,000%. So it means you need to understand the market that you are coming into, understand your risk appetite before going into it. But please don't be bothered. And there are also strategies for those that don't understand the market. There are strategies that you can adopt, the long-term strategy, and investing in ETFs that are defensive, are proving themselves over the years. That will really protect your capital. So what are the drivers of the stock market? Because if you are investing, what drives these prices? Why will a price go up? And it's interesting to note that the US market is very efficient. Sorry to say that we say, okay, for our market in Nigeria, GDP data may come out today and we may not see a reaction. Inflation data may come out. We may not see much reaction in the market. But in the US market, people trade data. So if the US Fed makes an announcement, that moment, you will see the reaction in the market. We call it a very efficient market. So where information impacts decisions immediately. So it's good to note when you look at company activities, for those that are familiar with the health sector, when you try to, or you want to get patent rights, you are trying to get approval. Once people buy it, if they feel that the probability of getting those approval for drugs are high, and once they get those approval, you see those stocks gaining 1,000%. But if they don't get it, it can also go the other way around. And if you feel you need to trade those stocks, you can put what you really don't mind that to lose in those stocks. And you can be rest assured you can sleep well. Secondly, you need to also look at when they introduce new products. For instance, when Apple announced if they're going to do iPhone 16, iPhone 17, or there's a major product that they have gone into AI. Like Google is very strong now, is looking at artificial intelligence. You would see once there's a new line of product, you will see that impact. Once they make those announcements, because they are listed companies, the announcement will be made. And what we have also done on the Optimus platform, when you click on a stock, there are news items you can scroll down to read, at least to provide you on information about what is happening. When they publish their results, you would see it there. You would see whether it meets analyst expectation or not. If there's a change of CEO, all this management is also very key. We are talking about a very efficient market here. If they lose any major customer, it will impact. And when you hear that they are moving into other countries, it also have implications. You see, when Tesla said, look, we are going to expand in China, you know that this is a new market which will boost their revenue. But if we hear tomorrow that China is banning Tesla from producing, you know that it is shutting down that line of income, which would impact on the expectation. Secondly, financial performance is also very key. There are a lot of analysts within that market, so they have analyst expectation. There are some sites that would also share that you can view. There's analyst expectation. So you would see that when companies release their results, if they meet analyst expectation or surpass it, you see that stock increasing in price. And if they fall short of analyst expectation, you see people selling the stock because it's a market of buying and selling. When they announce and pay dividend or they increase their dividend, it would impact. There are some companies that might have been in losses for years and you see them switching into profit. It also impacts. They also give forecasts. So we've seen situations where some of the companies review their forecasts. They feel they may not do better or they may do more than what they are projected. All these impacts directly. Sometimes they make exceptional revenue or exceptional income or losses. And they have direct, you will see that impact directly on the share price. Economic factor, I mentioned earlier, this is a market, once they're expecting, when you're expecting the news, there's a position the market takes. And when exactly the data is released, if it meets investors' expectation, like if US Fed, for instance, is trying to taper down on raising rates, and at the end of the meeting, they decide to keep rates, that is like meeting market expectation. But if they do otherwise, you will see the reaction when the announcement is made. Unemployment data, these are monthly data that have impact. Consumer spending, when in those economies, when consumer wallet is squeezed, then there's less liquidity for the market, GDP data. And lastly, global events. And we're painting this situation so that if you are in a particular stock, when you look at for those that have been trading the market, likes of Moderna, J&J, when they got approvals during the COVID era in different economies, their share price was doing very, very well. But when their attentions is been proven, they looked at the statistics in last market drops by minimum of 5%. This is the index, the S&P index, minimum of 5% when there are major geopolitical tensions. They looked at the last 20 major geopolitical tensions. It impacts the market. And for those that understand the market, it is when market is dropping significantly that you should be dollar costing more, especially if you are in good stock. So let's assume there's a major crisis in the US or in one economy. We still know that that has not fundamentally changed the business of Apple or of Microsoft. So if the share price of Microsoft dipped by 50% because of that crisis, it does not stop people from using Microsoft Excel when the crisis is over. It means that you would position and buy more when you see that market is down. These are tips that will help you, because it's not when it is significantly up or when things are up. Currently, the US markets are almost at all-time high. On Friday, the S&P 500 closed at S&P index closed at all-time high. Yes, you still buy because it can reestablish a new high, but you won't be as aggressive as when the market is seriously down or beating. So there are people that understand this market. They see crises as opportunities, and you go in and hold those stocks. So how do you keep up to date? So it looks so cumbersome now, it can look so tiring. You will still need to lean on professional advice. There are different, we'll also look at different avenues where you can read and see what are they saying about this economy. For those that are trading individual stock, maybe you have the time. You need to be listening to news to know how does decisions even impact. When you speak to professionals, you have to be up to date. You don't just buy and go and sleep. I think about 3 or 4 weeks ago, there was, I think Apple shares um was declining because of a news from China in terms of one of their production. You need to be aware of the news. And now that you are coming here, if you are new, please spend time to also study the market and read a lot. A part of what we will do, which we have started, and this is why we are trying to put in this effort before we are opening it up fully for trading, so that you have a bit of understanding of the investment class or this asset class that you are going into. We would also come up with videos, come up with webinars that would assist you and guide the decisions. And because it's a very volatile market, if you're a short-term trader, don't rush to take decisions. You see GDP data is out, you quickly sell because it's down. It can also reverse the other minute. So you need to study well and take your time. So for beginners, what's the best approach that you think you should use? This one of the safest, and I just say one of the safest approach is to purchase ETFs. It's an exchange traded fund. So what happens is that fund managers have built a portfolio around certain sector, certain stocks. So if you have one of the most common stock, you have the Investec, that's in the QQQ 100. You have the S&P Vanguard 500. These are the top most capitalized companies. You also have the Vanguard growth, Vanguard technology sector. So they already know if there are 500 companies within that basket. So if you are just buying the S&P, last year the S&P returned close to 20%. I know that because I also invest in the S&P Vanguard 500. So it means that whatever is happening to the top stocks in the US, your portfolio is growing. So you don't even bother about which result is out because someone is managing all those information. And as they receive dividend, they also pay it out. I've received dividend from S&P several times. They also pay out dividend. So if you know you don't have, you can start with purchasing ETFs or purchasing mutual funds that cover a particular sector. Secondly, you can look at the top stocks. So you don't want to, those that are proving themselves in the last 20 years, you have seen them, they have continued to grow. You can look at them. It's good, I'm putting this caveat or emphasizing this again. These are not recommendations. We believe that you would also carry out your due diligence based on some of the activities or some of the discussions we are having. But over time, these stocks are proving themselves to weather the storm. Microsoft, Apple, Google, you would hardly lose except there's a global impact like the geopolitical tension that happens. And with the understanding you have now, when those things happen, we should get excited to even buy more because the crisis will always be over and those prices will return or they will establish new highs. So it's good that we also note that for beginners. So guide, how do you assess the US stock on Optimus by Afrinvest? if you have not downloaded Optimus by Afrinvest, then you need to download and sign up and get your account approved. But if you have downloaded it, then you go to the US section rather. Then you would see you have to you sign up for it and your account will be approved. You'll be able to, once your account is approved, you'll be able to explore US stocks, look at it by sector, look at what you want to buy. Then to make it easier, we are aware there are a lot of stocks, but you think you want to follow some few stocks, you can easily follow those stocks so that you monitor their prices on a daily basis. And you can also invest when you want to, when you decide you want to invest in it. And before you start investing, always note that this investment requires dollars. So there are two options on Optimus by Afrinvest. The first one is you can inflow Naira, swap it to dollars in your dollar wallet, then fund your trading wallet from your dollar wallet. You know, we're talking about dollars here. Or you do a direct transfer to the registered dollar account to fund your dollar wallet. And once it's approved, you can fund your trading wallet. So this will really help. This will really help you in the process. It's good to note you don't need a DOM account. If you don't have a DOM account, you can still invest in dollars because you transfer your money in Naira, you invest in Naira. When you sell, you invest in dollars rather, and when you sell in dollars, you can also convert it back to Naira at the prevailing rate, and you take out your money into your Naira account. You know, we are talking about investment here. And on the platform, currently, there are like 4 major asset classes that are listed. You have the equities, which is stocks that were used to, or shares. That's over 7,000. You have the exchange traded funds. There are over 1,000 exchange traded funds on the Optimus platform. You also have the International Mutual Fund is not activated yet, but will definitely be activated very soon. And therefore, those that also understand exchange traded notes, they are like fixed income notes, and they are also in dollars. You can also invest in them. They are unitized. They are also available on the platform. And it's also good to mention some of us are also exposed to cryptocurrency. So there are ETFs that covers cryptocurrency. I think about 5 or 6 that are listed on this platform. So whatever happens within the crypto space will impact on the performances of those particular ETFs. So you can also invest in them, but we currently don't have the direct cryptocurrency listed on the platform. So I've just thought that we should just show some of the sectors that are, you would see that this is a lot of sector from healthcare, energy, real estate. So a lot of sectors that are available to trade within the market. So I try to look at some of the top monthly dividend paying stocks that have proven themselves over time. We can also research more into it and look at it, how consistent they have been. So you feel you want to be getting income on a monthly basis. These are some of the stocks. There are a lot of them. These are some of the stocks that pay dividend monthly within the US market. And for most of them, most of the real estate stocks pay monthly, maybe because of the way rent is also structured in the US or in developed climes. So you see for most of them do pay out on a monthly basis. These are also some of the dividend paying stocks. So these stocks, some of them are quarterly, Wells Fargo and Co. Some of these companies, some of them, they have consistently, they pay dividend on whether quarterly or annually. So if you want dividend paying stocks, they are also available, a lot of them within the US market. Also, top dividend paying ETFs. So buying ETFs does not exclude you from receiving dividend. So you can, these are some of, just looked around and picked some of these. It's just to show us what is available, the opportunities. The time we have is not sufficient to go into some of those stocks and explain exactly what they do. So These are some of those stocks. You receive cash flow in dollars. These are the top listed ETFs in the US. Just try to profile the top 20 ETFs in the US. I mentioned Invesco and KikiQ. These are, a lot of them have been performing well within the past 20, 30 years when you look at them. So this, I spoke about Vanguard 500 with all the other ETFs. This is a chart to show from inception when those funds were formed. And you see, even with all the volatilities that we're talking about in this market. So imagine you have invested in Vanguard 500 since, let's say, 2020, let's say 2012. You would see that the stock has continued to grow. Even when their prices, the major dip that you found there is the COVID-19 impact, which I said that we should always see those avenues as opportunities. You see that the market eventually bounced back and surpassed it. So some people would have bought when some of these things dip significantly. You don't run when market is down. So you would see that some of these, you look at the Vanguard all equities, covering all the equities in the US, the Vanguard growth. This is just one example of the ETFs. So this is also an example, Microsoft. And the source is Google Finance, which is one of the stocks. You can go and check the trend from inception. See Microsoft from 1990. Yes, it dragged for almost 10 years. But when you can see that from 2020, they have continued to increase. There was a major dip. For those that understand the market, there will always be this volatility. But if you understand the market, it's a good opportunity for you to come in. Now, the stock has established all-time high last week as a Friday. You also see Amazon has gained about 168,000%. Apple has gained 140,000%. Nvidia has gained about 68,000%. You see Tesla have gained. So most of these bellwether, which we call defensive stocks, have continued to weather the storm. And these are stocks that you will hardly lose money in the long run. This is also an example of looking at Apple. So a lot of stocks that comes to your mind, just check them, read about them. You will see when they are publishing their results. You'll see forecast of analysts. It will give you an idea of what to expect. This is also the video has continued. I think just about 2 weeks ago, I bought it at average of $500. It's currently at $594. So I'm not saying it immediately works that way. There's one of the stocks in my portfolio that went down because they did not meet investors' expectation. But that doesn't mean, what I did was to buy more because it dipped significantly by about 20%. And because I still believe that this stock would bounce back and I believe in their business model, what I did was to buy more. So just sharing personal experience of the market. So for some people will be wondering who are our partners, my shares say. So we are partnered with one of the leading dealer, stock broker dealer in the US market, which will, for some of us that are familiar with this space, with Drive Wealth. They have about, their headquarters in Jersey and in New York. So you can see some of their investors. They are also licensed as a broker dealer with FINRA, which is the Financial Reporting Authority in Nigeria. In the US. Also, they are registered with the US SEC, as well as with the Securities Investors and Protection Corporation. This is if there's any potential loss about the company, you are entitled to up to $500,000 for securities and to a cash of about $250,000. You are entitled to it. So there's really no fear in terms of if I'm investing through Optimus by Afrinvest with the partner we have gone with, there's no fear for any loss of shares or loss of your investment. In terms of, we are not talking about the upside, the volatility of the stock, but in terms of the company shutting down and disappearing. Some of the questions that we also got at the last meeting, we looked at, people asked, what's the minimum investment? So to make it, what we always say is we democratize investment. Optimus or Afrinvest is to democratize investment. We see it as a one-stop shop that rather than you investing through 5 different firms because you want to invest, with Optimus by Afrinvest, as we progress, for those that have started the journey with us, you will be able to have access to the different asset classes. So the minimum is $1. So there's no excuse for you not to begin to invest in this market if it aligns with your risk appetite. I've spoken about how you would fund your account. And it's also good to know that you are investing, you are becoming a part owner when you invest. So when they pay dividend, last week, I think Apple is trying to vote for one of their decisions. The prospectus and some of the documents were sent to my email. So you will receive email because they see you as a shareholder. What our partner, what they do for you is the way CSS is opened if you trade Nigerian stocks. They actually open their account in your name. So when they pay dividend, you receive the dividend. If they want to vote during their AGM, you will receive the prospectus. You can send in, if you decide you want to vote and send electronically and send it back, you can be able to do that. So it's good to know that. Then people are asking, Apple shares is about $190. How can I afford 1 unit? What we have done to make it accessible to everyone is that you can buy 0.001 units of Apple shares. So if Apple shares is paying $10 per unit, you would also get 0.001% of that dividend. So you are also entitled to dividend. And what we have done is, for some, you may, as we progress, if you want to be reinvesting your dividend, you can, once you set that, you have that setting, when they pay dividend, once market opens, the dividend will be used to purchase the same stock. So you see compounding can also work here, that you don't just spend your dividend, you buy additional shares or additional units of that particular shares. And lastly, part of the questions that you have, you would see a limit order. And for limit order, you will need to be able to buy a unit. So you decide, I don't want to buy Apple share at $190. I can put it in any day Apple share comes to $150. Buy for me. Buy 1 unit, buy 10 units for me. The system will do that because you may not be chance to check your app or be in the market when it happens. So you can set a limit. Or you want to sell, you made profits and you really don't have time. It's good to also mention that the US market currently opens between 3:30 p.m. That's the active market, and 10 p.m. Very soon, you'll also be able to trade pre-market and after-market. That's from 9:30 or 10:30 a.m. If you feel you want to place order or you want to trade market, you can begin to trade market pre-market before market opens. So these are some of the features that will come after this launch on Tuesday. And the market order is that you want to buy at available price, or you cannot afford a unit of Apple shares, for instance, and you say just buy $10 worth of Apple shares for me. That would be a market order. So it's going to just buy $10 of Apple shares for you, which may be 0.1% of Apple shares, for instance. So that is one of the advantages the platform presents. So I think that I will just stop here. Okay, let me just take this second to the last slide. These are resource points that you can use. Yahoo Finance, there's a lot that you can get there. Google Finance, investing.com, Tip Ranks, Seeking Alpha or Seek Alpha. You can be able to get a lot of information about the market if you are the type that have the time to read about the market. So So thank you so much for listening, and we are here to answer all your questions. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Ayo. Thank you so, so much. It's been an amazing and insightful time. I mean, the comment section has been buzzing with questions, a whole lot of questions. And I know, I mean, you are going to answer our question. But before we go right into that, I has talked about quite a whole lot of things, and if you agree with me, insightful. He talked about why you invest in stock. I'm just going to run through them because of time. We talked about why you invest in stock, why invest in foreign stock, how to invest in stock, investing strategies, to recommend, drivers of the stock market, and so many other things. But I would just like to place emphasis on some things that I think they are important and just go over them again. He talked about our partner, and I mean, told us about Drive Wealth, their position on New York Exchange, and their valuation. I mean, he said all this for us to know that we are in safe hands. Like he said, the company cannot just vanish and just disappear. So we can be at rest that we are in safe hands. Then also, he talked about investing for beginners, which I think we need to place a bit of emphasis on, because I believe we have quite a number of persons here who are just starting out and will have questions. And the first thing he said is, if you don't have the app, Optimus by Afrinvest, you need to first download the app. So if you don't have the app already, go to your Play Store or App Store and search for Optimus by Afrinvest. That's the name. Optimus by Afrinvest, and you follow the prompts. So he talked about me for beginners, download the app, open your app, check, sign in and fill in all your details. Then once you pass through that stage, you see you can now have access to, the stock, click on the US stock and fill your details in, follow stocks that you like, and you can start investing later. Then the next thing is invest. And he mentioned something that is also very important, because I can see that in the comment section, quite a number of persons have asked if they need a Dome account, for them to do this. He has answered that question. You do not need a Dome account to start. And don't let that be a problem. Don't let that be an hindrance, stopping you from going ahead with this. So he also mentioned few things that I think is best for us to take note of. He talked about how do you, keep up to date if you want to pick stuff, how to keep up to date with the whole US stock, everything that is happening around it. He said, learn from a professional. Learn from a professional. And he gave examples of, there are people online that you can learn from. There are companies like Afrinvest that you can learn from, and so on. Then he talked about educating yourself, follow the news, listen to the news, what's the updates, keep yourself updated. Then he talked about don't rush into making decisions. Don't just jump into any decision. Take your time, calm down, study. I think he laid emphasis on studying. So study well before making decisions. And he said best approach for beginners. I'm going to go back to the beginners again. He talked about purchasing the ETFs. And also he talked about purchase within the top 10. He gave examples and what he said were not recommendations. He's just basically saying, hey, look out for this and for that, not recommendation that this is what you have to do. So he gave example of the top 10. We have NVIDIA, we have Apple, we have Google, and the like. So those are very important information I think we need to, pay attention to. And so as not to waste our time, I'd like to take questions. I will just read out some of the questions we have from the DM. I know he has answered some of these questions, but just for the sake of emphasis, I would read out some questions, and please, Ayo, you just help us with them. So the first question is, please kindly talk about regulatory and brokers fee involved. Confirm if both Drive Wealth and Optimus. This question is coming up again. I've seen it like 2-3 times in this webinar. So confirm if Drive Wealth and Optimus by Afrinvest will be charging investors dual broker fee. So that's the first question. Please, Ayo, help us with
Okay,
that.
thank you very much. For us, there's nothing like dual broker fee. So we've already we've looked at this. Rather than giving you long list of charges, on the platform, we'll just be charging one fee of 1.5%, which will cover the different fees. There's a SEC fee, custodian fee that are involved when you deal with US stocks. There's the settlement fee. So, which currently charge 1.5% of the value of your investment. It means that if you are buying $100, what the charges will be is $1.5. You are buying $1,000 worth of, what the investment will be is $15. And for those that may have concern, when you look at the market, because the upside can be interesting, of 1.5% compared to upside that you would get when you are looking at long term is really very minute. So we are not going to be charging, Drive Wealth is not going to be charging you apart from what we're charging you directly. So we've looked at that before coming up with the fees.
All right.
And we talk about regulations.
Okay, go ahead, please. Drive
Wealth is regulated by the US SEC. For us, we are regulated security arm, which is regulated by the NSA and regulated by the SEC. So when you look at the tripartite agreement or the Optimus by Afrinvest platform, which is the platform for Afrinvest investments. So the platform is regulated.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for that answer. The next question is, what happens? I've seen this question like 4 or 5 people ask on this webinar, so I'll just ask it. What happens when SEC finds out? We will still be protected. How? Hope you won't. Okay. What happens when SEC Nigerian finds out? We will still be protected. Are we protected? Basically, they're asking, are they protected and everything? So,
so for Afrinvest, we're a regulated firm. Afrinvest has been in existence for about 28 years, and we have the different licenses. This platform, Optimus by Afrinvest, is fully owned by Afrinvest. It's not a separate company. So it is Afrinvest platform. So we are regulated. So there's the fear of SEC finding out. When you go on the SEC website, we're up to date in terms of our regulations. And so there's no fear that if SEC finds out, SEC has been there. SEC has even been issuing licenses to some other platforms that don't have licenses that we have, like Digital Sub-Broker. We already have a broker dealer license. So there's no major concern about having a problem with SEC. And you know this, your shares are being held by a custodian. Nothing will happen to your shares. For some of those that have been trading in the past, those that traded with Pasfolio, when Pasfolio was shutting down and leaving Nigeria, I had an arrangement with another firm called Sproutfee, now Vest, and they moved their shares. No one I was also part of. I also had investment in Pasfolio. So the way it works, your investment is secured.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think we can all hear that. Thank you so much. I'm going to ask this question too, because I've seen it like 3 times. Is dividends being paid to our dollar or our Naira account?
Okay, thanks. So dividend is paid in dollars. This is a dollar investment. You are now the one to decide whether you want to convert it to Naira or you want to take it in dollars. Currently on the Optimus platform, there's what we call the dollar wallet and the Naira wallet. So we have people funding their accounts, their dollar wallets with direct dollars, and they invest in dollar mutual fund, they do dollar savings, and now there is dollar and there's US stock, which also involves dollars. So you can have your investment in dollars and you decide you don't want to convert everything in, convert your sales proceed or your dividend to Naira. You can decide to provide an account and it will be transferred, it will be paid to your dollar accounts.
Thank you. Thank you. Another question that we have, but before I even go ahead to take the questions, please, I would just like everybody to know that we might not be able to answer all the questions. We have quite a whole lot of questions here. But what will happen is we'll answer a few of them, but we'll get back to you guys with answers to all the questions. We have your details, we have your email address, we have everything. We'll get back to you with all the questions answered via your email, via your contact that we have. So I will just take a few more questions before we call it a day. Someone also asked, what if you already have an account using Afrinvest? Do you need to create a new account on Optimus?
Okay,
and please, I would
great.
like you to answer that question with the question of, is Afrinvest 2.0, is it the same with Optimus by Afrinvest? I'd like you to answer those two questions together.
Thanks.
You.
So Afrinvest 2.0 also belongs to Afrinvest, but is for trading Nigerian stocks. So for you to trade US stocks, you need to download Optimus and sign up and follow the normal process for you to trade US stocks. So there are two separate apps. In the future, would also definitely work around making it accessible to both parties and have one app. But for now, you need to sign up on the on the Optimus by Afrinvest platform for you to access US stock and other investment opportunities available on the platform.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much. Oh, I just learned that we can actually take all the questions. So please just stay with us. We are going to take the questions one after the other and try and, finish up on time. So I'll just start. You answer the first one. Someone is asking, will investors have access to all US markets, including the New York Stock Exchange, the over-the-counter trading, and other platform? Will investors have access to the entire US market?
Okay, thanks. So I will not say the entire market, but currently what we have, you have over 8,000 securities, which is more than sufficient, which means that for most of the stocks will be available for a start. And for us at Afrinvest, we are forward thinking. This is just one version. Who says within the next few months we will not give you access to the China market, the European market? We'll continue to see how we improve on it. So with the current listed stock, we feel that you can start with that. It covers, we have over 1,000 ETFs, over 200 ETNs, and you would also have close to about 200 mutual funds. And so with that, you can start your investment, and it covers most of the known stocks that are also very defensive or that are well known. For most of those stocks are also covered within this space.
Thank you. The next question, Taye is asking, I know you said this when we were presenting, but for emphasis sake, once again, we'll just take the question. Taye is asking, what is the minimum I can invest in US stock on Optimus by Afrinvest?
The minimum you can invest is $1. Thank you.
All right. The next question, will Optimus create a mutual fund? A mutual fund. For those, I'm not sure, this question is not clear. Please, I don't mind if you can rephrase it.
I think I understand the question.
Anonymous attendee, the question is not clear. So I'll just go to the next question.
Isaac, I think I understand the question. So what the person is asking for, if we're going to create mutual fund on international stocks, just like we have our Afrinvest equity fund. And this is a very interesting question. It is something that would also be looking at. And like I always say that Afrinvest, we are known for innovation. So we are going to, over time, build mutual fund or come up with mutual funds around the US stock. So rather than you going to invest in some of the mutual funds or the ETFs that are available, Afrinvest can craft a particular fund, maybe call it Afrinvest International Stocks, and there's a basket of stocks that are within that space. And the way we do it is we backtest it to ensure that these are stocks that are proven to be able to weather the storm over a while. So I feel that that is also something that is on the table that we are not averse to. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Um, Someone is asking, is the platform strictly for stock trading, or it also includes derivatives or future trading?
Okay, thank you. So for now, it's baby steps. We only have the stocks, ETFs on it. So you don't have the options or derivatives where you can short or you want to also long the markets. Currently, we don't have that enabled. So over time, we'll study things and make it also enable as we progress.
All right, thank you. The next question, will you be sending weekly US stock recommendations like you do for the Nigerian stocks?
Okay, thank you. Uh, for now, because of the complexity, number of stocks that is being covered, we are not going to be doing any weekly, any recommendation. We can provide tips, give you an idea of what we think, because if you look at for those that receives the weekly recommendation for Nigerian stocks, you have to do a valuation, you have to have an analyst cover it and do a valuation of that stock and project what you think. But there's also, not to be discouraged or be bothered, there's more than enough information out there about earnings expectation, about target prices out there that you can subscribe to. And some of them are even paid where they give you their analysts that have signed up to them that value some of those companies and give you target price. So those opportunities exist compared to the Nigerian market that information is not readily available. I feel that there's more information to be worked on and to have access to compared to Nigerian market.
All right, thank you so much. The next question is, please, I know we've talked about this. I haven't made emphasis on it, but we're going to talk about it again. Please, how safe is my investment on Optimus? Is it registered with SEC?
Okay, thank you. Your investment is safe. So Optimus is owned by Afrinvest, and Afrinvest is registered with SEC. So your investment is safe. Uh, Also, the broker that we're using is also registered with the US SEC. So you don't have anything to fear regarding your investment.
Okay, thank you. The next question is, can I use USDT to fund my wallet?
No, we have not, currently, we have not opened up cryptocurrencies that's buying the actual assets on the platform because of some of the restrictions around regulation. So we like to be on the side of caution. So for now, anything that relates to cryptocurrency is not permitted. Apart from some of, ETFs is just like an index that we say around cryptocurrency. So apart from that, that is available, you can't trade cryptocurrency or pay using USDT on the platform.
All right, thank you. I'm seeking through the questions because I can see people asking the same question, just in different ways. So the next question is, what is the difference between Optimus by Afrinvest? What is the difference between, US stock on Optimus by Afrinvest and other platforms? What makes Optimus by Afrinvest stand out?
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. So one thing that you should note about Optimus by Afrinvest is a one-stop shop. For those that started the journey with us less than 2 years ago, what was there was just a savings plan, saving in Naira, saving in dollar. And early last year, we added 4 mutual funds there, which a lot of our customers are bought into. And now we are moving to US stocks. So you would see that one thing that differentiates Optimus by Afrinvest is a one-stop shop. So rather than you downloading an app to trade, to invest in mutual fund, downloading another app to invest in savings, downloading another app to invest in stock, then giving other investments or other, for those that are familiar with the app, there's the virtual card, the bank card, different things that are coming. So we see Afrinvest as a Optimus by Afrinvest as a marketplace where several investments or asset classes will be listed on the platform. So it's unique. When you are not ready to invest, your money is earning interest in your dollar wallet. In the Naira wallet, any amount you put there earns interest daily, minimum of 8%. You have the OptiFlex that gives you as high as 12%, and the OptiLock that gives you as high as 14% in Naira, and the dollar can be as high as 5 to 7%. So while you are watching the market, you can also invest. And the dollar mutual fund, I think the equity mutual fund has returned almost about 20% this year for those that invested in it. Last year returned about 60%. Yes, why that is not a guarantee of the future return, but because they are managed by professional portfolio managers, over the years have always beat the performance of the market. So you have access to a lot of investment compared to other apps.
Thank you so much. I will still have a few more questions to go. Zeno is asking, during the dollar swap, will exchange rates be by the official or black market rate?
Okay, I like that question. Very interesting one. The first thing we need to note is that CBN does not sell dollars for investment. So what we have done is to partner with licensed bureau de change that are licensed by the CBN that have dollar liquidity. Because each time when you want to invest in dollars, we can't tell you there's no dollar. So we have partnered with those that are also licensed to purchase dollars. So what the rates you would always see on the platform are it's the unofficial rates, which is we call inflow dollars. You know, there's what we call cash dollars too. So it's the inflow dollars that we're able to wire to our partner abroad. That is what so the rate you are seeing there is one, the rate of those that have that rate guarantees liquidity, that anytime you want to swap is available. And also, we're also able to purchase the dollars and send to our partners such that any day you want to trade, anytime you want to trade or invest, there's always availability of dollars. So what you see is the prevailing unofficial rates.
Thank you. Wale is asking, if I sell a stock, am I able to withdraw the money in dollar to my DOM account?
Yes, thank you. So when you sell stocks, you will be able to withdraw your money in dollars. But if you are familiar with the Optimus platform, there's what we call the dollar main wallet. So you will need to take your money from your trading wallet, which is in dollars, and move it to your dollar wallet. Then you can initiate a transfer to your DOM account, and it will be done within 48 to 72 hours.
Thank you. Tosan is asking, are we investing directly or is Optimus acting as a licensed stockbroker? And lastly, would we have recognition and certificates to the stock portfolio?
Okay, thank you. So starting with the first one, which I mentioned earlier, you are investing directly. We are partnered with a licensed stockbroker in the US, and we are providing the platform for you to be able to have access to that. So when you buy Apple shares, for instance, your name is on their register as a shareholder. We are not acting like an intermediary where we are buying the shares in the name of Afrinvest or in the name of Optimus by Afrinvest. So you own the share, you are a shareholder, and you'll be getting, what will also give you that indication is you'll be getting information. They'll be sending you the dividend notice, they'll be sending you the AGM materials, which shows that you're a shareholder. It means they recognize you as a shareholder. That's why you receive those documents. Please, can you remind me the second question again?
Yes, the second question is, would we have recognition and certificates of the stock portfolio?
Yeah, so there's a statement that you would have that you can print you can download your statement. There's no, in this era, there's no certificate that is printed. for you but if you also want, if you write, but they can also send it to you at a cost, because the cost of emailing hard copies. So if the person insists, I need a certificate, the custodian will issue a certificate at a cost, at a fee, and also pay for the transfer charge. But you have nothing to fear. This is the era of technology. There's evidence that you own the shares with the custodian, with our partner. If you also want to confirm if actually they partner with Afrinvest, you can also verify that. We'll also have a session where we'll bring them to even come and talk to you about investment. So Afrinvest is a reputable firm. We've been in existence for over 27 years. So we will not partner or bring a product that is not licensed and not regulated.
All right, thank you so much. We're going to take these two questions together. Does your platform give margin, and how many? The other question is, how much is your commission when buying ETF or US stock?
Okay, thank you. So I will just emphasize, starting with the second question. Currently is 1.5% of the value. So you are putting $10, you are charging 0.15 cent, or $0.15, which is 15 cents. If you are putting $100, it is $1.5. So it's 1.5% when you buy, 1.5% when you sell. Yeah. So, and the first question again was around this.
Second question. The second
I've answered
question
the
is
second one. Yeah, the first one.
the first one. Okay,
Yeah.
the first one I asked was, sorry, give me a second. Okay, does your platform give margins, and how many?
Okay. Yeah, so no, we don't give margin. And so you have to fund your wallet and for you to purchase shares. But who knows in the future? But for now, you need to fund your account, whether you are doing to your Naira wallet, then you swap to your dollar, then fund your dollar wallet. All these things happens once you understand the process, it happens within 10 seconds. Your account is activated and you can, like Friday, I saw some people were trying to just fund in bits, maybe trying to test the system, and they convert $5, go and buy, come back, swap in $5. So you are able to do that instantly, and you are able to purchase shares once market is open.
All right. The next question is, if I have shares by another broker still under DriveWeight, can I see my total shares from both brokers?
Okay, no, because these are two separate brokers. But the engagement we're also having is that we know that a lot of people will also love to move their shares from other firms to us. So we're also trying to negotiate the cost of moving the shares. And what they also try to do is they only move units. They don't move fractional shares. So either two options: you buy additional shares to make it whole units, or you sell the fractional units and take out your money and come and invest on Optimus by Afrinvest, or you can be able to move your shares. So we're currently in discussion around that, and would also provide more details as we finalize.
All right, thank you. The next question is quite long, but I'll just read it out. Does each user have a brokerage account through DriveWeight, or there is only one account for Afrinvest with a table used for allocation? Hence, does the SIPC coverage covers each of us to a limit of 250,000, or only an aggregated for the covering Afrinvest account? I don't know if you understand that question.
Yeah, I understand the question. The first thing to notice, you are investing directly. So an account is open for you, a stock account. You will see your account number on the platform, like the way you see your CSCS. So Afrinvest is not investing on behalf of anyone. You are going directly. We are only providing the platform, the access for you to be able to trade US stocks. So you are not, so when they pay dividend, it goes directly to your account based on the proportion of units that you have. So we are not investing on your behalf, or we're aggregating. So if there's any problem with the firm, it's per customer. So they see you as a customer. The 250,000 cash or $500,000 covers each customer. So we don't aggregate. When we set up mutual fund, there will be different policy guiding that. It's separately, and it's different from now. You are trading directly. So you buy when you want to sell. You decide to sell on your own, and your profit is totally yours. There's no Excel to track this. There's no calculation individually.
All right. Someone is asking, please, can we download Optimus by Afrinvest in Euro? Can't see it on the Play Store at the moment. So they're asking if they can download it
I think
basically outside the country.
You should be able to download it. You should be able to download it. I'm surprised why the person is not seeing it, but we can also look at that. You should be able to download. There's no restriction. What we have ensured, we have the signing up process that you ensure you must have a BVN to operate on Optimus by Afrinvest platform, because that's like your unique identifier. And also, as required by the regulators, you need to have your BVN.
All right. Someone is asking, are corporate and US government bonds listed on this Optimus US stock?
Okay, thanks. No, what you would have is there are ETFs that tracks bonds, that tracks both corporate and US bonds on the platform. So if to have exposure to that, you can trade it. There's also what we call exchange traded notes. So there are also notes exposed to the debt market. So you can also use that as if you want to track the bond market rather than buying bonds, buying the actual bonds. You can buy the ETFs or the index that tracks.
Another question is, can you share the list of the 8,000 stocks?
No, the list of the 8,000 stocks is on the platform. So you have access to it. You can search any name that comes to your mind. Sure that there's a 90% chance that you will find those, you find the name. So there's no point sharing a list of the platform. So we already have it. And to make it easier for people, there's the search option. Then you can also follow so that you don't have to be searching all the time. So you're interested in some particular stock, you can follow those stocks. We've also done it based on sectors. So if it's a technology stock you are looking for, you click on that sector, you can see the list of stock under that particular sector. So I think with that, we also have what we call trending stocks that would also show. So we try to see with the complexity or with the number of stocks in that market, how can we make it simpler and make it easier for people to invest or identify stocks? So we've done that. I think with that, you'll be able to invest in the market.
Right. Thank you. Another question is, can we buy the dollar? Can we buy the dollar and it reflects on our Optimus stock account?
Yeah, you can invest, you can transfer dollars, but it's not instant. So you transfer based on the account. When we receive the dollar, your account is funded and you can now trade, it becomes your dollars. And you can also take out your investment in dollars, whether it's US stock, whether it's mutual fund dollar, or whether it's savings in dollars. You can always invest and take your money in dollars. Even if you have brought in Naira to invest, when you liquidate your investment, you can always take it in dollars.
All right, thank you. Someone said the person is currently using another app, another platform, and is saying, how do I move my stocks to Optimus?
Okay, I think I answered that question. That we're currently finalizing the process. It is possible to move your shares. We can confirm that. But we're trying to negotiate the transfer fee since we have a lot of interest within this space, so that it's easier for us to move for people to move their shares at a very reasonable fee.
Someone is asking a question I think is important. They said, how long does it take to withdraw funds once I sell my US stocks?
Okay, thank you. So for settlement in the US market is T+2, which means transaction day plus 2 days. You know, the Nigerian market is T+3. I know they are working on making it T+1. So when you sell your shares, it means you have to wait. It's on the day 3 that you can withdraw the money. So on the wallet, you have what we call purchasing power and purchasing power as well as the withdrawable cash. So the purchasing power, it means that if you sell shares now, you can use the proceeds to buy immediately, but you can't withdraw the cash immediately. You have to wait for it to settle before you can withdraw the cash to your wallet.
Okay. Another question is the settlement after sale of stock +3?
No,
I don't know
yeah.
if
So
you.
what the person is trying to liken it to the Nigerian market. Currently in the Nigerian market, when you sell stocks, it is transaction day plus 3 days. So it's on day 4 you get your funds. The US market is on day 3 because it is transaction day plus 2 days. So it is not instant. It is not like cryptocurrency that you get it instantly because currently they also try to settle the funds. But if you are an active trader, you can sell now and buy immediately. But there's you also, I don't want to go into the technicalities of that, but for active traders, they will understand what we call good faith valuation. There's a number of trades you can make and that you buy and sell within in a day. So that needs to be noted. But if you are investing, when you buy, you sell, and you see maybe a stock has gone up, when you sell, in 3 days, your money is in your account and you can withdraw it, whether in dollars or in Naira. For Naira, it's going to be instant because on day 3, you can swap back at the prevailing rate and withdraw the money to your Naira bank account. But for dollars, we would process the dollar into your DOM account.
All right. The next question is, does the rate of buying dollar now changes later on, or it is fixed to what it is now?
No, the rate is the prevailing market. So we check the market. It will continue to fluctuate. Sometimes it can change 3 times in a day, depending on what market is saying. What you should look at if you are investing, if you are not a speculator, it is when, for those that invested about 2 weeks ago, dollar was around 1,200. Currently now is around 1,348. So if you are going to take your money even in Naira, based on the sell rates, it means that maybe you are taking it at maybe 1,3 or 1,320, which still means that you have still gained. And when you look at the ease of movement of funds, before you call an aboki or you call someone to transfer dollars, the cost of transferring dollars, can be significant. There's a fixed charge of about $50 if you are transferring from one bank to the other, no matter the amount that you have to pay, apart from the value, the percentage you pay based on the value of dollars. But if you are doing it in Naira, all those charges that looks very significant, if you don't have much dollars, will not impact you significantly.
All right, thank you. Another question. The ETF that, okay, I think we've answered this question. Someone is saying, is there any charge when I fund my wallet, whether from a DOM account or perhaps from the Naira account?
Sorry, I didn't get that. Yeah.
The person is saying that are there any charges when they fund their wallet, whether from their DOM account or from their Naira account?
No, there's no charges for funding. So if you decide, if you are funding through, for Naira transactions, we don't even charge at all. We absorb the charges. So people make you transfer money, whether you are using card, whether you are using direct, we don't charge. And when you are taking money, for those that have been with us, we don't charge. But for dollar transactions, when you inflow dollars, there's no charges because the bank would have taken their charges. They give us the net amount. But when you are taking your money, because the bank will be charging us, it is that amount that the bank will be charging that would pass to you. Though we have negotiated it because we do a lot of transactions with them, that will pass to you. So for dollar withdrawals on the platform, it's the normal bank charges that you would just pay. We don't make money from transfers. We want you to come and trade. When you trade, would out of the commission would also make money. So there's no need double charging you for transferring money on the platform.
All right, thank you. Someone is asking, what is the processing time when I purchase mutual fund, or is it instant?
Okay, thank you. So for mutual fund, you would see it is 48 working hours that would put there. And you can see for some people receive it within 24 hours, but it's a maximum of 48 working hours. So that working hours is important because you have people buying on a Friday and expecting that 48 hours is a Sunday. So Monday would be the 48 hours in terms of the deadline if you are looking at it. So it's not instant. Mutual fund is not instant when you purchase it compared to savings that you book instantly.
All right. And someone is asking, is there a direct settlement option for stock sales?
No, there's no direct settlement option. So when you sell your stocks, it goes back to your trading wallet and you can withdraw your money from there.
All right. I think some people didn't get the answer to the question of having access to Optimus by Afrinvest when you're outside the country. So someone is asking again, can Optimus work for someone in Ghana or other African countries?
Yeah, so as long as you have a BVN and you are registered, you have a BVN and you have a Nigerian account, you can download and sign up and use Optimus by Afrinvest.
All right, I think this question is quite important too. Someone is asking, is it possible to open Optimus by Afrinvest account for a minor?
Okay, currently you cannot open up an account for a minor. Also, based on you can't open an account for a minor on Optimus by Afrinvest, but definitely these are it's also on part of the roadmap that we have. But to trade US stocks, the rule does not allow anyone below 18 to also trade US stocks. So even if you come on board, you can invest for the minor and based on the regulations, but you won't be able to trade your your daughter, your son or daughter will not, or your child will not be able to trade the US stock directly. And we'll just walk around the regulations such that the person is attached to you. So we're using your own, what we call know your customer documents as the evidence. So it's attached to you as a minor. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. And we have one more question here. Please, any tax implication on the stock? If yes, which regulation is applicable?
Okay, thank you. So if you are not a US citizen, there's no tax implication. So it's for US citizens that you have tax implications. So even on the platform, there are a few questions that you'll be asked when you're onboarding on the platform. That's to trade US stocks. These are some of the questions they ask. So if you are a US citizen, you would have tax implications. But for Nigerians, which they see it as international investors, there's no tax implication.
All right, another question just popped up. I would like to know if there's a limit to the amount I can invest with.
Okay, so for the sake of that means for some that maybe did not hear or just joined, the minimum investment on US stock is $1. So it means that it's available. It means there's no limit indirectly. It means there's no limit. You put $1, whatever 0.000 test that is being you'll be able to use it to purchase dollar.
Okay. I can see just one more question here, and I'll just ask it if there are no other questions. What is the average return on US stocks?
Okay, thank you. So there's no fixed average return. And it's depending on, like I mentioned, you have over 8,000 stocks. So if you are buying an index, so the top 500 stock last year returned over 20% in dollar terms. The top 100 stocks within the returned close to about 25%. That means, so and it's also been proven that average return for S&P in the last 20 to 30 years is about 10% in dollar terms. So I will not be able to say this is the exact average return that you get. If you are buying individual stock, go to Google Finance, check. When you click on, you input the stock, you will see the return from inception. Be able to have an idea of what the average is, and you can analyze it.
All right. There's a particular question someone asked. For I left it to be asked as the last question because it's not directly related to this, but I'll just ask it now. The person is asking that we shed a bit of light, shed more light on the Afrinvest commercial paper. And finally, just answer these questions together because those are the last questions. I just want you to talk briefly on how safe our platform is because I've seen quite a number of questions around that, just to clear people's doubt, how safe. So you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So I think I'll be starting with the Afrinvest commercial paper. Commercial paper is a fixed income investment. And Afrinvest commercial paper, which came out last week, is well rated by Augusto and as well as GCR, is a safe investment. We all know when you invest in when you invest in commercial paper, you're investing based on the rating and your understanding of the company. So Afrinvest has been in existence. Like we said, we've been supporting companies over the last 28, 29 years, raising capital for them to support their business. And now Afrinvest has seen different opportunities where they can channel this capital and make good return. And that is why Afrinvest is in the market. And we know the minimum, when you look at the minimum, is 1 million Naira because it's for qualified institutional investors. And you can access it using the Afrinvestor 2.0. When you download it, you can have access to it and invest. And if you need to have information on the prospectus. If you go to you can send an email to brokerage team at afrinvest.com, where they'll send you an email to read more about the prospectus. So you can say it's Afrinvest, given you also see the financial performance, you see the rating, which means that it is safe for investment. And coming to Optimus by Afrinvest, which is also a platform that is fully owned by Afrinvest, your investment is safe. And one thing why we also decided in the past few years to look at this is that we feel we have been managing investments in billions for customers. Why don't we make it accessible for everyone? Customers have trusted us over the last 28 years. Now, we are making it accessible. People can invest as low as 1,000. And we have the experience. We manage billions. We manage millions of dollars. You check our asset under management, which is customers' investment with us over the years. So now having a platform where we aggregate funds and invest based on our professional knowledge, that provides you the assurance that we know what we are doing. It's not, we don't just collect funds and just put it anywhere. We understand investment. That is our bread and butter, what we understand. And now we are making it accessible for everyone. Rather than leaving your funds in your bank account, you know what inflation is saying at 28.92% as at December. So why don't you take advantage of the platform, whether it's OptiFlex at 12%, it's OptiLock at between 13 to 15%. You're able to have invest your fund and you're able to bridge the impact of inflation. And if you feel you also, there are other forms of investments in the firm, commercial paper, uh, mutual funds, treasury bills through our sister company, Afrinvest Securities Limited, Afrinvest Asset Management. So you are investing, when you look at Afrinvest as an ecosystem, this is a group of companies that have the required licenses, the required pedigree that we have been managing investment for. Yeah, so when you talk about safety, even for us, even as professionals, you look at the management, the board of the company. These are reputable people that have integrity.
All right. There's one question that I think I missed out on, and I'd like you to just briefly just answer it. Can we buy REITs?
RAIDF. So I think the person, the acronym RAIDF, so trying to picture that maybe it's the type of mutual fund or an index that tracks a fund. So if it's a mutual fund, very soon you have access to mutual funds. But I would confirm, we also take feedback, whatever is available and we feel is also safe for you. That is what we will list on the platform, because safety is paramount, first of all. And that's why we're also taking our time. We could have just released the products to the market and not even hold seminars or webinars like this where we can provide context or even guide our customers.
Um, Before we go, I can see this hand has been up for a very long time. Webikalu, I don't know if you have a question, please, can you type it? I don't know if it's a mistake or you have a question. You can just type your question out in the question and answer session. And so I'll be waiting for that in just a minute. We really do not have so much time. I'll be waiting for that. But in the meantime, I just want everybody to know once again that we really appreciate you for staying with us till this time. We know it's really been a long night, but thank you for the questions, and we know it's been insightful, time. I also want to lay emphasis on this again. Optimus by Afrinvest US stock is going live on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, you will have access to it on your app if you have the app downloaded. That's 23rd January 2024. So if you have the app downloaded, you have access to it by Tuesday. Just follow the prompt. And if you don't have the app yet, this is a good time to download the app. This is a good time to download the app. Download the app, follow the instructions, put in your details and start trading. In the absence, okay, I can see one more, and I think we are good. Someone is saying, please, how can we claim dividends that our parents bought for us in the past?
Okay, so I think I get that. And so we have a product through our sister company, Afrinvest Securities Limited. So I would advise the person to send an email to brokerage team, BROKERAGE team, brokerage team at afrinvest.com. So we have a product called AfriTrack, where we can help you track all your investments. So if you have bought Nigerian stocks, this is not US stocks. Nigerian stocks, your parents have bought, they are still in certificates. You want to dematerialize them, that means change them to electronic form so that you can sell. We can help you track all your investment, and you would receive all the dividend and bonuses that have been accrued to you. So we advise, I think maybe someone can also type it out. If you feel you are in that category, please reach out to our sister company, Afrinvest Securities Limited, with licensed broker dealer. It would be able to help you trace and recover all your lost shares. Thank you.
Okay. Finally, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ayo, for your time. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and for staying with us till this time. Once again, US stock on Optimus by Afrinvest goes live on Tuesday. And you might be wondering, oh, why is it just US stock? No, it's not only US stock we have there. It also is saving and investment platform. It helps you automate your savings. So you can do a whole lot on the platform. So, but US stock is coming on Tuesday. We'd like to see you. We hope to see you guys on Tuesday. Thank you all once again for tuning in, for staying with us till the end. We'll see you guys on Tuesday. Thank you all and do have a wonderful night rest.